so tired, my whole body hurt, my brain was just exhausted. Got up anyways because I have two alarms. I got one next to me and I got one farther away. Water with salt. Take this right as you wake up. Now we're about to go on a treadmill and get the heart rate even more up, bro. Let's go. The perfect morning routine that every man should do. In this video, I'll be going over my morning routine. If you follow this step by step, you'll notice your mindset and your energy just keep building. Step number one is to have the same wake up time every day. Growing up, I've heard so much different advice regarding sleep. Some people say sleep is so crucial and you need to focus on this more than any other metric. Sleep is very important, but with that being said, what's even more important than sleep is your own word to yourself. So if you say you're gonna get up at a certain time, then you get up at that time. It doesn't matter how you feel. If you break your own word to yourself at the beginning of the day, then you just get in the habit of not trusting yourself. This is what leads to low confidence and negative self-talk. Instead, you want to set a wake-up time the night before, and every night it's the same thing. If you were to get bad sleep the night before, keeping a consistent wake-up time will actually get you back on track, because the next day you'll be so sleepy that you will sleep on time. But if you do the mistake of sleeping later because you slept later, now you're just fucking up your entire routine. Also, you're just teaching yourself that it's okay to slip up on that bedtime ritual. But if you wake up at the same time, regardless of what time you went to sleep, then you're actually gonna learn from that mistake and you're gonna learn how to sleep on time next time. The perfect wake up time depends on you. But with that being said, it has to be before the sun. There's really nothing like waking up before the sun and watching it rise. I promise you guys, if you start to wake up before the sun, you will feel more happy. And honestly, I feel like I have more energy these days. I could even get less sleep, but just being with the sun, it feels great. That means the wake up time could honestly range from latest 7-ish a.m., 6:30 a.m. to earliest, honestly as early as you want. If you really struggle with the wake up time, make sure you have a bedtime ritual and make sure you have an alarm clock beside your bed. A trick I do to make sure I hit my wake up time is I have 2 alarm clocks. I have an alarm clock next to my bed and I have my phone alarm that's farther away in a different room. My phone alarm rings first because my phone time is accurate, but I purposely make my alarm clock 1 minute early just so that after my phone alarm rings, I have the mental note that, oh, that really loud alarm clock is gonna ring right now. This causes like more anxiety because I know there's gonna be this really loud noise. As opposed to having one alarm and you just turn it off and you might just go back to sleep. Step number 2 is get some coffee. So I'm having Cafe Bustelo Espresso Instant Coffee because I heard this shit bangs. Having that with some water, 10 grams, 6 ounces of water. It's time to get to fucking work, man. Let's do it. Coffee, as soon as you wake up, will put you in a more positive headspace to start the day. And it's also gonna wake up your central nervous system, which is gonna make it easier to do the following step. I personally recommend an espresso over any other sort of coffee. Don't drink any lattes, don't drink any cappuccino, just straight black coffee. That's what your body wants. And I pair this with step number 3. Step number 3 is reflection. I start off every day the same with journaling. In my notebook, I write down my regrets and my wins of the day before, and then from these 2 factors, I come up with a goal for this coming day. Your win should not be something external. It shouldn't be, oh, this person was really nice to me yesterday, or oh, the sun was really out yesterday, that's a win. No, it should be something that was purely based off your effort. A win doesn't even necessarily mean a result. It could just mean some sort of action. So if you're a salesperson, then a win could be, I did more sales calls than I've ever have. The regret might be the most important part of this. When you write down your regret, I want you to not only write down what you regret from the day before, your regret is once again something that you did. I regret eating late night food. For example, I regret eating that tub of ice cream. This will bring a lot of awareness to your mistakes. And as a result, it brings clarity as to what you need to focus on. But don't stop there. Do not just write, I ate ice cream. Instead, I want you to get really specific. I want you to literally write out what were your mental thoughts as to why you did this. I want you to write out as much detail as possible about the regret. And no, not what flavor the ice cream was, but instead something more like, I wanted ice cream. This was around this time. What triggered this was I was bored. I told myself mentally that it's no big deal because I ran earlier. So you want to get deep on like, what was the justification that your brain made to take this action? Or were you just mindless and it was just caused from lack of preparation? So that's the wins, that's the regrets. And with these two things, you get a clear understanding of what your goal is. If you're enjoying this content, click the link in my description to apply to work with me personally. I write down my goal by essentially saying, I will X or I will not X. And then after the I wills, I also write I will pray every morning. So every morning I do a prayer. Now, you don't have to be religious to do this, but I do think there's a lot of power of just speaking out loud the things you are grateful for and what you want to work on today. So here's an example. I am grateful for another opportunity today. Any challenge that comes towards me, I am more than ready to face them. I have faith in who I am. I have faith in my mission. I will say no to the negativity in this world. I will not harm other people, and instead I will choose positivity because that's what would make myself proud, which in turn will change the world. This is an example, but imagine if every morning you reflect on your day, you do the prayer. This puts you in a better headspace, and something about saying this out loud, it's almost like you don't want to disrespect what you just did. Step number 4 is reading. And also, whatever I read, I actually journal about it, and I write a little bit about what I learned, as well as how this applies in my life. So I try to actually tie my personal experience with the book. I want you to read something that helps with your mindset. Any self-improvement book, any book that gives you some motivation, anything that brings you positivity. And I want you to read 5 to 10 pages. Sometimes I read even less. What I personally do is I don't just read these pages, but I actually say them out loud, and I practice my communication. So it's almost like I'm warming up my voice and trying to be entertaining as I read this book. And then once I'm done with this, I actually write down a 1 to 2 sentence summary of what I read, and I write down a reflection of what I read. Writing down an experience that proves this point, or writing down how I will use this in my life. Step number 5 is to work out.
The best way to start the day. The sun isn't even up. We're getting that heart rate up before the sun comes up. That's the way to do it.
Now that we've fueled ourselves with caffeine, we exercise our minds, now it is time to exercise our bodies. Working out in the morning has been proven to just absolutely boost your mood and boost your energy for the day. I personally go on the incline treadmill for 20 minutes to just get my heart rate up and start sweating. From there, I lift 6 times a week, and on the 7th day, I just do extra cardio. No days off. That's the whole point of this routine. It's every day. Step number 6 is to practice your communication. 30 seconds of just talking. And the whole point of this is to show my vibe, my communication, if it's good, what am I doing wrong, what am I doing right. I don't care if you want to be a YouTuber, a politician, a salesperson, or even a computer programmer. At some point, you're gonna have to learn how to use your communication skills. Whether it's to land a job or to talk to a girl, you need to get better at expressing yourself. There's nobody, I feel, like you are too good at communicating. I rarely will meet a man that blows me away with their communication. This is becoming more and more of a rare skill, which means that if you start to practice on this now, this will put you ahead of most. What I recommend is to do something called the Talk Forever drill. It's very simple. You say one sentence, and then you grab a word from the previous sentence, and you free associate into the next sentence. Here's an example. I'm excited to finish this YouTube video because I'm about to go see a friend after. After I became a life coach, I started making more money. Money is great because it allows you to have more freedom. I felt very free the day I dropped out of college. You see how I grabbed one word and just said another thing, You want to do that for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. That's gonna really put you in a more talkative state, and you're gonna work on your communication as a result. You want to get to a point where your thoughts and your words are like perfectly aligned. There's no thinking involved, there's no insecurity involved. Number 7 is a cold shower. There's nothing that gives you so much energy for so little effort. All you gotta do is jump in that cold shower and watch how you feel so much better afterwards. And for the final step, number 8, deep work. Spend at least 1 hour on deep, uninterrupted work. Ideally, this is something that's aligned with your passion and something you truly want to chase after. So if you have some 9-to-5 job, that might mean you work on your side hustle in this moment. Or if you really love your job, it could mean working on your job. And you're gonna see how after the coffee, the workout, and the cold shower, you're gonna be so mentally sharp that your brain is just gonna be on point. And by the way, I have breakfast after this.
After a cold shower, we have the same breakfast as always, 5 eggs, half a tablespoon of butter,
and real salt. Get this salt. Do not get the regular bleach salt. This is a lot better for you. This breakfast, it's gonna get me locked the fuck in. Let's go. Guys, I promise you that if you do all these steps and you make sure you don't miss a day, your life will change so fast. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in all ways, man. This is something that's truly changed my life, and that's why I feel like I really had to make this video. And if you got value from this, but you want even more, and you really want to level up, link in the description to work with me directly. And that's all for this video. Have a great day. Bye.